Welcome to Unlocking Las Vegas with your favorite redhead realtor, Erin Mills. We're going to be covering the greater areas of Las Vegas all the way to Pahrump and Mesquite, talking about trends, events, sports, and more. I'm super excited to welcome all of our guests this year and have a great time, which is everything Unlocking Las Vegas. Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Unlocking Las Vegas podcast with your favorite redhead realtor, Erin Mills, and my guest,
the home loan closer, favorite redheaded loan officer.
I like our hat game today. I mean, I've worn this one before. It says, "I will make you rich." I love it. I love the story behind it. What does yours say? It's pretty street cred.
Yeah, I had this made for you. It's just kind of a knockoff of my lender. Can you do something for me? And so it says lender and has a couple of little bank coins on it.
It's really, really cute.
I had a little fun with it. I picked it up at a art festival that I attended in Utah.
Support small business.
A lot of fun, yeah.
I like it. So first of all, I love to give out the shout outs to we like to go to coffee shops here in Vegas that are like homegrown. So we love Mothership Coffee. So I got black tea with a splash of lemonade, but he took me to the OG home of Mothership Coffee, which is really, really cool. It's called Sunrise Cafe. I had the beef empanada. That was amazing. So I just like to tell you guys, if you follow me on all the social media, all the different places that we like to go that is locally owned and homegrown. So that is very cool. Okay, so
that made me really happy, actually.
Why?
Like to be able to take you to have a coffee shop
that I've never
been to.
Yeah, because that's my vibe.
But you've been to like their other shops and to show you the mother of Mothership. Is kind of fun. So I'm glad
you got a kick out of that. Yeah. I don't know everything on the planet. People are like, hey, do you know this coffee shop? Or you must have been. No, but I'll go. Dude, it's Vegas. There's probably like 8,000 mom and pop coffee shops.
If it's not a Starbucks, I am there.
Yeah, I know. Starbucks is really easy to drive through, but I'm always looking to support local.
Absolutely.
So here's my problem today. So let's talk about, a lot of my buyers are coming to me and they are in the mindset of sticking to their low interest rate. So this is my hurdle as a realtor. I actually have a buyer on standby. So he's come to me, he can give you his story, but he's got this low interest rate, but he's outgrowing his home. So would you suggest to stay happy in your home because you want to keep your low interest rate? This is what we're going to dive down.
Erin, you're making me smile right now. I feel like I've been talking a lot about this lately.
Well, I feel like it's our job in the industry. We are the Rubik's Cube. We're the hands on the Rubik's Cube. We have to switch people's mind and show them a different view of how to think because we are not taught this in school and we are the professionals, right?
So you know what my favorite question is to this?
What is your favorite question?
Oh, I have a really low interest rate, but do you really have a 2.75 or a 3.25? And then they look at me like, well, yeah, that's my mortgage payment.
Of course, it comes on the bill every single month.
And I'm like, okay, well, let's look at this. Let's break down. You have a mortgage, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, I have a mortgage.
I have a fairly low interest rate.
Do you have a car payment?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a car payment. Oh, you just updated your car payment because
terrible.
Most cars, these days got to get traded every 3 to 4 years. So we've seen we're at the 4 years of this higher interest rate market right now that we've been living with. And so rates are a lot higher on cars.
Side note,
7 to 9% on a car. And then I get into, what's your side note?
Side note is I don't know why society today has got to drive these fantastical, amazing cars. Like it gets you from point A to point B. Good job, auto industry, on making us want all these fancy cars. I'm lame, man. I've driven like hoopties my entire life because I like a non-car payment. But I have a car payment now. But it's my industry, and I live in my car. I drive for a living. So you see all the time debt to income ratio. They might not qualify because their debt is too high. So that's what we're breaking down are these high car payments, credit cards, all the things. So I'm going to take my phone. I'm going to ask our lovely assistant over here because it's on silent. And I know that my client is going to call in because I said, listen, would you like to be part of our podcast this week? Because I'm getting the same questions over and over. He's a cool guy. He's on the verge, but he just doesn't understand.
Well, I'm going to run the play on him.
Okay.
Because then I go from house, car loans, credit card loans,
monthly bills.
Credit cards are at 29% interest. I come across consumers every day that have seen their debt increase drastically over the last 2 to 3 years.
Because they can jack up your interest rate.
And so now what was 22% interest cards are 29%. So the average consumer homeowner, I think, has about $30,000 to $35,000 in credit cards.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah,
should we call him a different name? He's got a generic name. I'm sure he won't mind. His name is Chris. So, Chris, you are now live on the show. Hi, Chris. Making sure that we can all hear.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Joshua Nieves with Merit Lending here. Nice to meet you.
So
nice to meet you, Josh.
You're live on the podcast, and so I was just explaining, that you're a really great client. You love your interest rate, but you're outgrowing your house. And I get hit with this all the time, and I wanted to actually put you on the phone, live on the podcast, to have somebody. I stay in my lane. I'm here to get you the best deal on a house. He's the one that deals with your finances, and I love what he has to say. So you're game, right? I prepped you.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not making you sell your house, even though I'd love to list your house. This is just for informational purposes. So I'm going to turn the time over. So Chris, meet Josh.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for taking the time to call in today. I got a little bit of a scope of your scenario right now, and just wanted to, you're okay with talking about your personal scenario. We're not going to divulge any of your private information. But we will ask you a couple of questions about your debt currently and where you're at so that we can have a better understanding of the best way to help you. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So, Chris, you're a homeowner, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And how long have you been a homeowner?
It'll be 7 years this year.
7 years.
Congratulations. It's great.
That is amazing.
I'm sure you have some equity. I know a little information, but I want you to say it to Josh.
Yeah, and that's my first question. Do you know approximately what the property value of your home is today?
Probably somewhere around 400 roughly. I think Zillow says like 405 or 406 right now.
Okay, and then side note, we're going to go with Zillow because that's what every consumer can see. Of course, I can pull my side comps to tell you what I could get it for, but we're going to stick with Zillow 410 today.
And honestly, Chris, Zillow's done a great job with the pricing values of homes with their Zestimate. They show a 10-year history of your home value. If you ever put your address into the Zillow, it'll spit that out for you, and then you can click the little blue bar that says Zestimate history. So that's great news. 406, what a rebound in market. I know that there's been some value increases over the last several months. How much do you owe on that house, Chris?
Somewhere around like 210.
Wow.
210. Wow.
Congrats.
So you're sitting on $200,000 of equity.
Just
Amazing.
imagine if you would have rented for the last 7 years. That's a whole different podcast.
Now, Chris, you have a car payment most people have. Do you have one?
Yeah, $450 a month.
$450. What do you owe on that? $22,000? What do you owe on that?
What kind of baller car do you drive? Sorry, say it again.
What you cut out? What was that?
Like 22 to 23,000.
Spot on. Okay, I love it. And do you have any credit card debt?
I do. Yeah.
What's what do you think that's at right now?
I got a couple different cards.
Like most of us do.
Probably like 16 to 18,000 range.
Okay, and how much is that costing you a month right now?
Minimum payment? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, like
no, I usually send about 800 towards it.
800, okay. And that's that. I mean, that's probably pretty close to a lot of the payments anyways
average,
on that. But
yeah.
So, and then how much do you pay on that 210 mortgage a month?
It's only $1,550. I got a low interest, 4.35, and HOA is low at my place, so it's only about $1,600 total.
$1,600. That would be, see, if I was you, that would be hard to walk away from. Yeah. But let's actually math it. Let's do, I like to say girl math, but let's do Josh math.
Yeah. So lender math, right? I have a philosophy, Chris. Couple things. Do you want to be a landlord and hold this house and carry more debt, or would you like to look at maybe the option of selling this house and taking some of that money and getting rid of this debt, this $22,000 car, this $20,000 in credit card debt, approximately? With that, I'm calculating about $2,850 a month in total bills. And, the purpose, I got kind of framed a little bit on the conversation that you're looking to make a move up buy. Is that correct? You have like a dream home that you want to get to?
Well, I'm in a 3-bedroom right now, and we a son, and we'd like to have another child. And
Aww.
so if that happens, then we'd be looking at getting into a 4-bedroom minimum versus this 3. So just trying to see what my options are. It's hard to walk away from a low interest rate and a low, monthly obligation, but just want to see kind of what we could possibly do.
Now,
A little more space.
absolutely. Now, Erin shared with me prior to starting the podcast today that you were going to be calling in that you wanted to get a house with a pool, I believe, for the kids. And and like one more
nice.
garage or something. You have like a very small garage space, I heard.
It is Las Vegas. I mean,
Yeah. I'd like to get a little bit bigger of a lot, just all in general. I only have a single car garage right now. I'd like to get at least a 2.
okay, so let's
and
move up.
just more space.
So if you went like at a $575 purchase price, right? That's a pretty big move up by from the $400 value you're at now. Just kind of approximating right now. Hold on one second. Excuse me, sir. Can you grab me my phone real quick and calculator?
That's a pretty nice move up. And here in Las Vegas at 575, you could really kind of go almost anywhere in town and get a pool and a 2-car garage.
That's what I was thinking.
So that's a really, really good generalization.
And I mean, we can go, if you find something at 525 or 550, I want that too. But you're going to get less houses with pools available on that. So what I'd like to do, if I run this number real quick, I've got you at like 575. I've got you at 20% down. I've got you on an interest rate. Current market's about 6.75, the lowest the rates have been since February, Chris, which is great news, but more competition is going to come here. And so if I put in your taxes, $2,800 a year, $1,200 for insurance, you're looking at an all-in payment of around $3,300 a month.
Now, I know that if you just say that, going from $1,500 a month to $3,300 a month sounds crazy.
Right.
I'm devil's advocate over here.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But also,
you talk so loud. Like I'm right here. Like I want to go deaf on my left.
So
ear.
also, what I'm talking.
So excited.
What I'm targeting, I do get excited about this
I
stuff.
know. I'm all DJ voice.
I'm targeting taking a lot of the depreciating debt and the credit cards, the car loan, and paying that off.
Yeah.
And now you're taking that $2,850 total and being able to buy a dream home that would have the pool and the extra space that Chris was looking at. He's looking at a total of $3,300 a month all in, $3,318 a month. So, I mean, we're looking at $468 more a month for you to have a dream home, pool, so you don't have to go out as much with the kids.
And one payment.
Is that something, and only one payment, you're free and clear. Is that something, I mean, I know if we don't look at rate, and I know you have a very low interest rate on your primary, but is that something that would work for your family to be within a $450 budget increase total to be able to get into your dream home?
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, and so listen, devil's advocate. So you went all the way up. You went almost $200,000 more than their house value. When you went up to 575, I could find them a really kick-butt home for $500,000. So we're only talking
with a pool.
Well, yeah, I'm Magic. Did you
guys
not know?
Who to call. This is tough in this market. So if you can get a house with a pool around $500,000, that's like almost a unicorn in this market. However, there are still some out there.
Which I do find.
I'm just running numbers for you.
I know.
But
let's say
I think there's a lot of room. I think there's a lot of room there to find the right property for the move up. And even if you found something, let's say at 510,
$550.
I mean, you're looking at about $150 every $25,000. So if you went, down to $550 or down to even $525, he's within $150 of the move up from where his current bills are to be able to move into a dream home for his family.
Yeah, and with that much equity, he's got the money. Let's say I couldn't negotiate the closing costs, which pretty much you tell me what to get for closing costs. I ask the seller for it. I'm a pretty good shark negotiator, but he's kind of going in without having to worry about having the so-called 20% down in closing costs. That really scares people because the education isn't there. Chris, thank you for sticking with us. I know we're talking at each other and at you. I appreciate it.
Chris, do you have any other questions?
Well, is the rate lower if you're putting 20% down, or am I better off just holding on to some money?
That's going to be a payment-driven thing, depending on where you could afford. If you're comfortable going up higher in payment and putting less money down, I'm happy to review keeping more reserve for you. In this scenario, the way I kind of worked up the scenario for you, I have you netting about $158,000 from the sale of your house after paying off your debt. The new purchase would be about $115 down plus closing costs, so you're about $130. So you're still pocketing about $28,000 after you pay off your debt, move into your new home that you would have on reserve with this transition. So great question.
Oh, nice. Okay. But the rate doesn't drop if I go like 15% or 20%. It doesn't make a difference either way.
No, unfortunately, rates are pretty much dialed into to that scenario, 15, 20, 25% down. Obviously, rates are driven by credit score. I do think rates will continue to improve from now until September. However, I don't know when that window is that the big drop's going to happen. My concern, Chris, the big drop happens. It's going to be harder for you to get that
harder for me to
home.
get you into a home with great negotiation power, because then when the rates drop, the floodgates open, everybody's looking at your same house, more money could come out of your pocket. That's the educational portion of us saying, go ahead and get in with that, mid-6 rate, even if the worst case scenario is 7% rate, because you got the house, you scored the house. When that window drops, when that interest rate drops, Josh is here watching your every move and saying, hey, man, it's time to refinance. Let's go that rate and save you even more money.
That's correct. And most of my clients, I tell them I'm going to see them in 7 to 12 months, a year. Someone like you, Chris, in today's market, I'm really confident that I'm going to get you home in the transition, estimate that $3,300 payment. If I was to look like, what happens if rates do drop in 7 months? Like, what can I do for my client at that time? Well, let's say they drop down to below 6%. And, you were in that same scenario. You paid the $3,300 for
7 months.
7 months, and now you're getting it dropped down to $3,056 a month. So this is, you taking advantage of the market and the perfect timing. I think it's about, time in the market, which you have, and then timing that transition. However, making the move to pay a little bit extra for the first few months to then be able to take advantage of that refi, you're going to save a lot of money. It's going to be a lot less aggressive. I mean, in 2021, Chris, I had people paying $20,000, $30,000 above appraisal value.
Yes.
I'm afraid when rates do drop, that we're going to see a little bit of that frenzy happen, especially, with people holding on, to their current homes and really wanting to move into a bigger home, like they're outgrowing it, like you are, sir. So
all I'm saying is don't. Oh, go ahead.
So let me interject real quick. I do have one quick question. I know when I bought this house, rates were kind of going up. So while we were in contract, we locked in the rate so it didn't go higher. If we expect the rates to potentially go down in the next 30 to 60 days, if let's say I decided to move forward and list my house with Erin, I know the inventory is fairly low, so as long as we're not priced too high, we should sell pretty quickly. Right. But if we get in contract on a house and then rates improve, am I able to get a better rate than what let's say you just mentioned, I think it was 6.75. Let's say they drop it. Am I able to then take advantage of the 6.25 or 6.35 or?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't lock your rate until you're in contract. So, fast forward 25, 30 days, 35 days from now. If it happens sooner than that, that'd be quick, but I have seen it happen, and you do have a mastermind of an agent that you're working with. So, we would lock you in at that current rate at that time. I'm kind of a geek about the rates, so I watch them daily. I see where the market's going. I, kind of knew what was going to happen last week on the rate improvements. And so I do see a couple of other channels that'll happen over the next 2 months, but we are in one of the best rate windows right now that we've seen since February of this year, and some of the best rates we've seen in the last year and a half.
Nice.
All right, Chris, I'll talk to you later. None of this was pressure. I feel really glad that you called in and you got to talk to Josh. And so take care of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.
And Chris, look for an email.
Thanks for all that information.
Thank you, Chris, for opening up. Look for an email from me. Erin shared that with me. I'll get that out to you so we can get you pre-approved and out there looking for that right home, and you guys can take the next steps on listing, okay?
Because guess what? You don't know to say no until you know, right? I say that way too much. Okay, bye, sweetheart. We'll talk to you later. Tell your wife I said hi. You're welcome. Yep. Bye. Okay, cool. So every scenario is different. We are not Nostradamus. I mean, but see, it's an eye opener to be like, holy cow, I could live in a fantasy home potentially with only paying $300 more and have one payment.
Yeah, and I love to say, I love helping your clients. They're just a different.
I love that you love helping my clients.
They're a different vibe. There's really they're on board. They seem like they're just ready for action, and I just appreciate that. So thank you.
Well, we do a lot of talking to them because education, the biggest thing in my industry, I like to call it commission breath. And I do not have that. So if it's right for you, everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's the right time to buy and sell. Every agent, every second of every day, it's the right time to buy and sell. No, it's not. Maybe not for that person, but maybe for this person. So if somebody comes to me, it's not right. We're going to wait. They're put in your hands. You can improve their credit. You can guide them until they are ready. And so it's, dude, we're humans, man. I'm not here to like push my agenda. I'm here to improve your life and your family's life.
I love that. And I say the same thing, like having commission breath. I'm here to serve people. I got asked the other day, like, how much did you make last month? And I was like, I don't know. I helped 6 people.
Stop yourself.
6. I'm looking for 7. So I really don't count the money. I count the people I get to help. And that's kind of what served me in my business to become a top 1% producer in the state of Nevada. And
I think if you're helping people, like the more you give, the more you get. You know, we're all in business and that sort of a thing. But as long as you're a completely decent, honest human being, like I just feel like the universe opens up. But you know me and manifesting and the secret and just being a good person.
You know what else I'm really excited about?
No.
Inventory. Affordable inventory has increased, almost doubled. We have like over 1,739 homes available from 350 to 500,000 in the city of Las Vegas and Henderson area.
And look, I'm here to show it to you, here to have a conversation. I can send you my MLS app. It's so much better than Zillow, Redfin, etc., because it's actually true time. So I don't care if people are afraid to call me. Like if you ask me one question, I'm going to be all over you, like trying to make you buy something. I just like to give you the tools that I have. So when you're ready, man.
And hey, if you're watching this podcast, if you get registered on her site and you start looking for a home and you use me for your home loan, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a free appraisal credit. So I'm going to pretty much help you guys out with a little bit of that cost at closing.
I like to spend your money.
$600, I'll give you guys a lender credit at closing for your appraisal if you guys are working with Erin Pearson. So look forward to helping everybody get home and really hope this podcast brought some value to everybody today. I think we dug deep on some good stuff.
I think we did really good. Well, thanks for listening, you guys, and I will talk to you later. And wherever you are in the universe, stay cool and have a great summer.